Maura Healey has declared a state of emergency over the migrant housing crisis. She says the number of families living in shelters is surging. Chris Tanaka is live in the Satellite Center tonight. And Chris, by making this emergency declaration, the governor is asking for the federal government's help.
Governor Healey just declared a state of emergency in Massachusetts because of the number of migrants arriving in Massachusetts. Healey says they are overwhelming local shelters.
Massachusetts is the only state in the country that has a right to shelter law, and it's been that way since 1983. But only recently, communities like Taunton are having to house hundreds of migrants, and the mayor says it's becoming a big problem.
A latest report on the emergency housing crisis has now been published. 22 News State House reporter Ellen Fleming explains how Western Massachusetts continues to be affected by this ongoing issue.
Tonight, dozens of migrants are sheltering inside Boston's Logan Airport. Families, many with young kids, sleeping on blankets, pillows, and benches in the airport's Terminal E, as Massachusetts becomes the latest pain point in the nation's ongoing migrant crisis.
Meanwhile, over in Massachusetts, Governor Maura Healey declaring a state of emergency due to emergency shelters there reaching capacity with migrants. Officials say there are almost 5,600 families and over 20,000 individuals in Bay State shelters.
A closer look now at the migrant crisis affecting the state of Massachusetts and specific communities here in the western part of the state.
22 News I-Team reporter Alana Flood is live in the studio with a continued look at the migrant experience in West Springfield.
Democratic lawmakers in the Massachusetts House are looking at a new plan designed to ease the migrant crisis. The shelter system has been at capacity or beyond for months. The latest numbers show more than 7,500 families currently enrolled.
Immigration made nearly 9,000 arrests in New England in the last fiscal year. Nearly 4,000 non-citizens were granted asylum, but the demand much higher, close to 18,000 asylum filings just in Massachusetts.
As of today, close to 5,600 families with children are living in state-funded shelters, hotels, dorms, and other emergency facilities across Massachusetts.
Now, this emergency declaration directs local officials to do what's necessary to secure housing, shelter, and health services to address the crisis. Right now, there are 20,000 migrants in state shelters.
Hundreds of millions of dollars are being spent on the emergency shelter crisis as people continue to arrive in Massachusetts for a chance at housing. The first report that came out in the middle of December showed the state has spent $205 million on the crisis. In the latest report that came out this week, it states that Massachusetts has spent $325 million.
I'm proud of the way Massachusetts stepped up with compassion and solutions for the influx of migrants that's testing states all around this country.
If you have an extra room or suite in your home, please consider hosting a family. Safe housing and shelter is our most pressing need. Become a sponsor family. You can contact the Brazilian Worker Center for more information on how you can step up if you're willing to have an additional family be part of your family.
Of the 2.5 million migrants who came to the U.S. through the southern border in 2023, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection data, it's unclear how many have landed in Massachusetts. Governor Maura Healey's administration reported roughly 3,500 migrants in the state's emergency shelter system in mid-December.